Hey guys, okay, we are about to jump into some serious research. You're about to learn. So I'm going to send you this data set. I've already done student 2 and student 1, and so I'm about to show you how to do student 3. So when you come in, you see Argo, right? So this student, and yes, you know him, it's Bishop, but you cannot talk to students about this. So he had 2 attempts. So if you notice, if I click on that number 5, I get this triangle with an exclamation mark. I need to click the down arrow, convert that number. But before I do that, let me select both. So it's one step. You'll notice that it's different because it shifts to the right. Same thing here, you get the same message. And then here, oops, same thing here, you get the same message. So you might say, well, why not do them all? It just helps you to organize and visually see, because it's really easy if you get tired to get lost in the data. So then if you will select from attempt start over here and then go to insert, choose recommended, I want you to use this chart here. It's the clustered chart. Okay, so I'm going to pull up an example. This student only had 2 attempts. Here's another one from student 2. Okay, so this shows us their attempts. So this quiz was, what quiz was this? This quiz was how do muscles work? So for this chart, you come in and you double click on that and you say, how do muscles work quiz. Alright, and then you're going to click off of it. And now, if you're working from a Mac, you'll do Command-Shift-4. If you're working from a PC, you'll go to your snipping tool, which if you need help with that, let me know. You can do a search. So I'm gonna highlight and screenshot just that table. Okay, you see it popping up here. It's gonna come here in just a second. And I'm going to save this as student 3. And I'm going to go up here and get this number under the org. Alright, the UUID, which makes this word nobody knows who this is. But I'm going to click on the name here twice. And then I'm going to say student 3. And then I'm going to copy paste. I'm going to paste his unique number there. Okay. And now I can come here and I can just delete that graph. Okay. And also I can highlight these 2 rows and then right click and say hide. So that keeps putting away the data that I have already worked with. Alright, there are 120 students, so there's a lot of this to do. And some students have multiple attempts. You see, like Ferguson here, I mean, all of these attempts. So if you run into one of these that starts having really weird tables, then just let me know and I'll assist. So the next thing I need you to do is go to my Google Drive and go to research. So double click there and then quiz attempts. That's what I'm focusing on now, and ESMS 3700. So what you'll do is, honestly, now that I think about it, there's 120 students. Let's do this by quiz. So, oops, my bad. So research, quiz attempts, 3700. We're going to create a new folder called How Do Muscles Work. Got it? And we're going to say quiz. Want to be as clear as you possibly can think of, because it helps you when you start having a bunch of data. So we're going to open that folder, drag and drop that first graph, second bar graph, and the third bar graph. So see how it's student number 1, student number 2. So we want to continue this process. All right, I'm going to do another one until we finish all of the students. Okay, so this student here, Austin, see, he only has 1. He only had 1 attempt, so it's actually going to make this kind of easy. But let's just see what happens when I haven't even tried this. And I could have highlighted all of those across, by the way. So let's just go to insert. All right, we're going to use the same table, the clustered column. Okay, and that's basically, you know, that's the only one he did. double click and type in how do muscles work, question mark, quiz. Keep everything very standard, and then let's drag this off to the side and click off of it a couple times, and then now let's screenshot it. Okay, so when we do that, we go up here and get copy his number, and then we're going to click once, wait a short second, click again. Now we're ready to label him student 4. Now here's the thing, when we start working with the next set of data, okay, and I'll send you the data. I'm going to send each of you your own data. What we have to do is make sure that student 4 is Austin, right? And so if I go up here to this green line and double click and say unhide, all right, Sean Austin, it shows me all this information that I had hidden, shows me his name. So Sean Austin is this student here. So we might want to copy and paste and make a master list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything on this one. So this right here is user attempts, but I'm going to change this data if it'll let me. It doesn't want to. Okay, I'm going to change this to how do muscles work. Okay, so now, all right, it's not going to let me do the question mark. That's okay. So when you get this email from me with this new, with this updated, you know, I think I'm going to put this in Google Drive, and I want us to see if this will work. If I put it in Google Drive, which I hope this is not confusing you, then I wonder if you can work from there and do the same functionalities. Anyway, that gets you started, right? So the only other thing to do for now is to come and drag student 4. Now once you see that that student is dragged, just to keep your desktop clean, you can go ahead and drag these to your trash can and delete them, because they will start to take up quite a bit of space. Okay, so if you need to watch this again, please come in and take a look at it. Last thing that you always do is come in, hide that student. Okay, so I'm going to hide this name again just for the sake of keeping it kind of clean for you. Alright, so if y'all would, y'all get started tackling this first data set here for the first quiz. I think there are 10 or 11 that we've got to get done, hopefully between now and Christmas. Not to mention, we got to get started on preparing for the unit y'all are going to teach when we come back. So, okay guys, I appreciate y'all. See if we can't try to get this done. I think if you really get down on it and don't have a lot of other things that get in the way, if you do, then we just adjust. But let's try to get this done as soon as we possibly can. Let me know if y'all have questions.